There's a lot to do in Tokyo, and honestly, a lot of the famous things are really bad. Or I don't know, they used to be good, and now they're kind of super touristy. So I've been living in Tokyo for 5 years, and I first came to Tokyo way back in 2016. So I have a lot to kind of compare with, because back then, Japan was not like the hotspot tourist destination it is now. And you know what? Things have changed a lot, and things that used to be good are no longer the way they're portrayed, especially because I see a lot of like online posts and the information is just kind of outdated, or it's like people's opinions from their trip even 2 years ago. It's different to today. So I kind of want to talk about some of the top tourist attractions in Tokyo, not all, but some, and I'm going to be focusing on the ones that either are just, I think they're overrated, maybe you can skip them, but also some that like can be good if you do it a certain way. And I'm also going to be making some recommendations for alternatives, or like how to just make your experience there better. So watch till the end, we have a lot to cover. So the first one is honestly the place I really don't like going the most now, and that is Harajuku's Takeshita Street. Now back in 2016, I really liked this street. It was really fun. I went a lot because I was like studying abroad. And back then I would say it was like on the verge of becoming like super touristy, but it wasn't quite there yet. So there was still a lot of the local charm. Now it's just tourist shops, honestly. Like there's a few Japanese fashion shops, like actual local Japanese fashion shops, but the majority of that street, like the rent is so high and things like that, the real brands have left, and it's just like, here's a banana on a stick, here's a cotton candy, here's overpriced Japanese nylon kimonos, that kind of thing. So I don't know, you can walk through it if you want. If you do, you'll probably see what I mean, but do not despair. There's other alternatives just right there you can go to. So what I recommend instead in that area is you should go to Ura Harajuku. So the Ura means like back. So it's like the back streets of Harajuku, and just put it into Google Maps. The area is gonna pop up. This area is really nice. There's actually a lot of like local Japanese streetwear brands, that kind of thing, that you probably actually want to see if you're going to Harajuku. There's also a lot of cute cafes, coffee shops, really trendy stuff. That's where it is now. Forget Takeshita Street. And then there's also Cat Street, which you may have heard about probably like as an alternative to Takeshita Street, and it is still a good alternative, but it is becoming more touristy. I mean, everything I say is to a degree, because that's just Tokyo now, if I'm being honest. Like there's tourists everywhere. So Cat Street, I think, is probably like what Takeshita Street was like 10 years ago. So we'll see how it goes from here, but there's still a lot of brands on that street and like the surrounding side streets. Really, you should just go to side streets. But Cat Street is good because you can walk straight from Harajuku to Shibuya. I really recommend that. Good itinerary. So while we're on the topic of Shibuya, there is, of course, the famous Shibuya crossing, which you can probably guess, it's a crossing. Like that's all it is, you guys. It's a road crossing. It is not some cool like cyberpunk thing, I promise. It's like Times Square, if anything. So it is overrated, but honestly, if you're going to Shibuya, you're probably gonna have to walk through this crossing anyway. So I still think Shibuya itself is worth going to. It is very crowded with tourists now, but there's a lot of cool shopping, and it's a kind of young, dirty vibe. So next, Asakusa. You know, the shrine, Sensoji, the big shrine. I know. So if you're coming to Tokyo, you're probably gonna go. I'm not gonna tell you like in this video, I'm not gonna say like, don't go here. You should do whatever you want. They're all worth seeing for different reasons to different people. And the shrine itself is very impressive. That is why it is so famous. So the standard route for this is you start at Kaminarimon, it's like a gate, and then you walk through Nakamise Street, which has a bunch of like little stalls lined up selling food and gifts and stuff like that. And then it ends at the shrine. So you can do all that. You should go through that. It's gonna be crowded. But I see a lot of people like they just do this and then they leave. Don't do that. You need to go to the side streets, or like you're not gonna get any Asakusa vibe at all. Like, cause Asakusa is a actual neighborhood and it has a lot of like older Japanese charm to it, and it would be a real shame if you didn't explore any of that. Like it's a very retro vibe. There's a lot of stores, a lot of cafes, you know, just walk around, it's fun. Or alternatively, if you have a bit more time, if you go like one station down to Kuramae, or you can walk there, it's like a lot more chill. There's a lot of cute cafes and you still have like that kind of older retro charm. So if you do find yourself in Asakusa, I highly recommend, if the weather is good, that you walk to Skytree, if Skytree is also on your itinerary. A lot of tourists don't do this, but it's a very good walking route, and it's only like 25 minutes maybe, but it takes you like through the river, the Sumida River, which is really nice if the weather's good. And you can see like a lot of like real Japanese neighborhoods because it does go through a more residential area. So Skytree is a complicated one. It's nice, like the facility is very nice. I kind of personally feel like it's too tall, like it's too high up actually to see that much of the town. Like you can see everything, but like you can't see in detail, you know what I mean? It is nice though, like if you want to go to a tower kind of thing here, that is a good one. The mall underneath it is actually pretty good. They have like a Pokemon Center, they have a Rilakkuma store, they have like everything. But there's alternative towers you can also go to. So one is Tokyo Tower. This one is often really overlooked by Western tourists, especially now I think, because it's shorter. It was built in like the 60s, so it basically looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's red. I think Tokyo Tower is actually really good to look at from the ground. Like it's really pretty. If you go up it, it's kind of run down and it's not like super high. But if you like watch a lot of like anime from like the 90s, especially in like the early 2000s, a lot of them feature Tokyo Tower in it. So for me, it's still kind of like nostalgic and I'm drawn to it more. But there's also a lot of other observation decks throughout Tokyo. Like a really popular one now is Shibuya Sky. You do need to reserve this far in advance. It is outdoors though, so if the weather sucks, then you might not be able to go up. And then another free one is the Shinjuku government building. Next, TeamLab. A lot of people are super into TeamLab. I also like TeamLab. I've been to all of them a few times. To be clear, it is like just for Instagram pictures, basically. I think the most popular one on Instagram is still TeamLab Planets, and this one has like the water area. So like you have to go through the whole thing barefoot, which is, yeah. So personally, I prefer the pretty recently, last year, I think they opened it. They relocated and like renovated their exhibitions for TeamLab Borderless. It used to be in Odaiba, but they moved it into the city center. So it's now in Azabu. So it's pretty easy to get to. I actually recommend this one, I guess more, if only because of the location and you don't need to take your shoes off. Okay, before we move on to the next point, if you are traveling in Japan at all, you're gonna need an eSIM, like to use the internet, to use Google Maps, message people. You should really have data on your phone, which is why I'm glad to say the sponsor of today's video is Saily. If you don't know already, Saily is a new eSIM service app brought to you by Nord Security. And if you use an eSIM like Saily, you're not gonna have to try to connect to like these random Wi-Fi networks around town, because what they do is it automatically connects your cell phone to a local cell phone network, the towers. So you can use your cell phone almost the same way you'd use it back home. You can use the translation apps, you can use payment like Apple Pay and stuff. It's very good. Okay, so I've actually used Saily for myself for about a month in Japan. Seriously, I'm being honest. And it was actually better than my normal cell phone plan, which I actually really did not want to happen, but it did, which is why I ended up using it for like the whole month of the plan I had it. I miss it. And if you want to use Saily for yourself, it's like super easy to download and install. Seriously, I also use it abroad. All you need to do is download the app, which you can through this QR code right here. And then you're gonna open the app and choose whatever country you're gonna be traveling to. So Japan, select how much data you want, etc. And then make sure you activate it before you get on the plane to Japan or wherever you're going. Important. And then once you land, your phone is just gonna like connect automatically. You don't need to deal with it. Like seriously, it's so much easier to me than like using pocket Wi-Fi or anything like that. eSIMs are the way to go. So if you do want to try out Saily for yourself, make sure you use my code at checkout, Allison in Tokyo, and you'll get an exclusive deal of 15% off your first purchase. Or you can download the app too through my link at saily.com/Allison in Tokyo. Thank you, Saily. Okay, next, the Ueno Zoo. You guys, this is honestly like the worst zoo I've ever been to in my life. Like, if you've ever been to a zoo, at least in America, you're gonna feel like a really horrible person going to the zoo because it is like so many of the enclosures are like concrete and stuff. Is like, I don't think it's worth it. Ueno also has Ameyokocho, which is like, I think it's like advertised online as like a cool street market kind of area, but it's like super touristy now, you guys. There's nothing really there. I don't really like Ueno. The only thing in Ueno worth doing to me are the museums in Ueno Park. So if you do like museums, check them out. If you don't, if you're not into museums, that's fine. Next, Tsukiji Fish Market. So you may know they moved Tsukiji Fish Market actually to Toyosu, like the auction itself for the tuna. But still, a lot of people still go to Tsukiji Fish Market like area because they still have a lot of, the stalls and restaurants that have been there over the years. But honestly, like, it's just a tourist area now. Like, it's just like stalls selling like candied strawberries and like sushi and stuff. Like, you don't need to go there to eat any of this stuff. And I think it's overpriced and like it's like literally all tourists. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. If you do want to still see the actual auction, you can, but it is in Toyosu. If I had to say an alternative for Tsukiji and maybe Amayokocho and Ueno, I'd say Yanaka Ginza is still good. It is like an up and coming tourist destination, so it gets more popular every year. It can get really crowded on the weekends too, but it's still actually run by like local people, the stores. And you can definitely get like that older Showa retro Japan vibe there. Next, Akihabara. I know, anime, video games, yay. I don't know, every year it just gets more like overly commercialized, I guess. Like the actual charm of the local electronics shops and things like that, it's kind of just disappearing. Everyone knows it. It's still worth going to if you do like anime and stuff like that, just to see it. But where a lot of people are going to now instead, who like live here, is Ikebukuro, which you may already be going to for other reasons, but Ikebukuro has a ton of anime stores. Like it's traditionally been like the place for like female oriented anime, but I think recently especially there's been like more and more like male oriented anime, you know what I mean, like shonen stuff. I don't know. So yeah, check out Ikebukuro. It is very good for anime merch. They have a lot of pop-up stores there too. I like it. Okay, next, Golden Gai and Kabukicho in Shinjuku. Honestly, I've never been to Golden Gai, like into a bar there. I've walked through it, but whenever I see it even from a distance, I just see like foreign people. Like I know, but like, you know, it's advertised as like a local bar area or whatever, and it is not that anymore. Like there are some locals, but it's not what it's like written about online, you know. You can still go. It's bars. You could kind of find a local bar anywhere. Also, Kabukicho just like sucks. It's it's like a nightlife area, but like actual like red light district vibes with a lot of sketchy people, and I really don't like it as a woman, so keep that in mind. If you are in Shinjuku and looking for something else to do, I like Shinjuku Goen. It's like the big park there. It's actually really nice. It's probably the nicest park in Tokyo. Big, lots of flowers, plants, etc. They even have like coffee shops and stuff in there. Check it out. Next, the Imperial Palace. So I think, okay, even this happened to me too, okay. It's called like the Imperial Palace, so you kind of expect there to be a palace. I don't think it's crazy if you would assume that, but there's not. I mean, technically, yes, there is a palace, but like us laymen cannot even really see it. So if you go to the Imperial Palace, what you're actually going to is like the garden of the Imperial Palace, like around it. So yeah, it's cool if you want to see like some traditional Japanese like garden slash like old walls and stuff like that, but you know, I think you should just wait and go to like any other castle or something, like somewhere else not in Tokyo. It's not really worth it in my opinion. Okay, I have two more. They're not exactly like tourist destinations, but rather tourist shops that I see constantly super crowded and talked about online, and I don't know why. So the first, this might be controversial, is Ichiran ramen. Yes, it's so crowded. A lot of the branches are so crowded now. Like I'll see like lines waiting to eat on like 2 p.m. on a weekday out the door. Like pick any other ramen shop. Like pick it, almost any other ramen shop randomly, and it will be the same or better quality, I think, ramen. Like Ichiran's like thing is that it's like good for like people who are there alone, but most people who are going there are tourists who are not eating alone. So like just go somewhere else, seriously. It's good, it's just not worth waiting an hour for. The other one is also kind of controversial. It's Donkey. I actually hate going into Donkey now. It's so crowded, it's so loud, and especially like the ones in like Shibuya and Ikebukuro and stuff, the, you know, the touristy kind of areas. Like it's just hard to actually shop there. Like they do have a really good selection of items, but it's like not worth going through this experience to me to go there anymore. And honestly, if you're like looking for skincare or something, like just go to a drugstore. Like pick any drugstore basically that's kind of big, and they're gonna have the same selection of things almost. So, and the price is not that different, I promise. So, okay, that's the video. I'm sorry if I hurt any feelings. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you disagree with any of my points, that is fine. We are all humans with opinions, and these are mine. In summary, you can do whatever you want, and you can still have a fun time doing anything, any overrated activity. You can have fun. Just like go to a side street and you're gonna like it more probably. So please like the video, leave that comment down below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos about traveling in Japan and my life in Japan. I'll see you guys back here again soon. Bye.